just walk into the enemy jungle with lethal tempo level 1 and they just you win the 1v2. It's kind of ridiculous, and that already puts Peanut on the back foot. Now Peanut, in my opinion, perhaps the most tilt-proof jungler in the entirety of the LCK. The game he played against Canyon, or rather games, definitely going to always be at the forefront of my mind in that regard. It's not great as Vi, who wants to rush to 6, to already be this far behind your opponent.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, just get back to farming. You're gonna lose your buff. It's not gonna feel good, but just kind of move on. Try to hit 6 as fast as you possibly can, and then just look for the plays later on in the game. Carrier not hitting a hook just yet, as this bottom lane is going pretty even for now. The Pyke, you know, you mentioned how it's definitely going to be pretty volatile, as he's going to be looking for some plays, or at least threatening them. You can do this with Pyke as well, as the hook is going to go wide, but you can always have that threat as long as your cooldowns are available, where you just kind of run at them and they have to respect it. And kind of like a Blitzcrank feel. And Carrier is doing a good job of doing just that.
And it might be one of the biggest benefits of the Aphelios Emilio, and we've seen this with some other hyper combination combos in the past, is just that you're a hyper carry, but you also, in many cases, not in this case, but in many cases, just win the level 1 really, really hard because of Calibrum, because of the Milio range, and because of how good these AD carries are at spacing. And we can see here as well, Guma!
We're just brawling. Guma taking it to Viper and losing, and Viper just stands up to them. This hook, flash forward, it's not going to work out. As Carrier trying to turn the tides here. Flash. Oh, the dodge was excellent by Zeus as he goes unbound. And he just hopped back, but he did have to flash to get away from that play.
Still big win there. Peanut not disturbed. No real worries for him. Smokes top. Forces a flash. Does see Owner now, and he doesn't have mid lane prio, so I don't imagine he's going to be feeling too good. Faker has sent Zeka back twice already. Like, Zeka's backing again here.
I mean, this is what Orianna does, right? And especially into the Corki, like, at least Azir can trade back a little bit, but Corki early on, you're not going to win those trades. It's just not really going to happen. As Carrier, he is going to be quite annoying. He's going to get in there. Speaking of which, Owner's doing the same.
Leave Peanut alone! He just wants to farm, man.
Yeah, and part of the reason he's able to do this is the top lane. Even after Zeus had to flash, he can just push the Cassante under turret, and the Cassante can't do anything to help out Peanut in that topside jungle, so Owner just gets to get in there. Faker, you know, what is a Corki going to come over and, like, kill Darrell? It's not going to happen at this level. And, of course, Orianna can also push in. So Owner just gets to do whatever he wants. And what he wants to do right now is take down these Void Buffs.
And Rel actually one of the best at clearing these out, for the reason we're about to witness in just a second. Ooh, I wonder if he's going to, like, keep all of them low, and then with one Q... missed the third one there, but you can basically kill all of them. Still had a smite, so
yeah.
Nicely set up. There's Carrier.
Carrier looking for it, hops forward, is going to miss the hook. Carrier not hitting a single hook just yet, not that I've seen. The ult comes forward, and level 5 Doran gets out scot-free this time.
A little spooky there, and Doran does survive, but at the same time, this gold lead is only getting bigger. Zeus in this 1v1 completely untethered, unlike Yone, ironically. Carrier now back after his short trip to the mid lane, and the laning phase again from T1. Nothing has happened, and they're up 1k gold.
Yeah.
Which, being ahead in lane, does make sense with the setup that they have. Counter pick, obviously, in both mid, top, and bottom. But the extent to which definitely is... there should be a little bit more fluctuating. I think the Viper and the Light are not going to be too bothered. Same for Doran, but we'll see. I think particularly after last game as Zeka, you're really looking to have as much of a bounce back as you possibly can, and I do think you're supposed to struggle against the Orianna early. Particularly Faker has been super oppressive on this pick early on, but it's mostly a mid game, I think, where we saw a lot of
Ult's coming in, all out. Zeus in some trouble. as he is unbound, but now Doran not going to hit the knock-up. The timing is not there, and he doesn't get the kill just yet. Finally gets in, but he goes down. Zeus gets himself into a rough spot, at least is able to trade it back, but Doran picks up the first blood.
And Doran ends up going down anyway. Zeus not getting caught there.
Oh, Hook finally came in, forces that flash. Level 6 here for the side of the T1 bot lane. In goes Viper. He's doing a punch to
He doesn't even have 6.
He doesn't even have 6. Doesn't need it. He's got red-white. And that was enough to push them back. Only, I mean, Keria just ignited on the play. Actually, the summoner advantage is T1's after all of that. Plus, they got the dragon. So there you go.
And we do have both Cloud and Chemtech already here. And yeah, the main thing, Doran actually is able to predict where Zeus is going to go initially, but then here tries to go for a predictive Q, just barely misses the timing, and then thinks he has the kill there. I think always is going to take that extra turret shot, so the moment that he follows Zeus, I think he is dead, even if he wouldn't have like done the little walk back.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure what the wave state was. I think that the first turret should still help him a decent amount, and after this, I think he'll be still behind, particularly with the blade advantage still being there for Zeus, but it being a small win for the Cassante. But we're in a very similar situation to last game, where for Humble Life it's about holding on. Last game they were able to find some great mid-game team fights. See if this time around that is the same.
Yeah. That is a good question. As Peanut is hanging around the top side of the map here. You know, he has hit level 6. He wants to make a difference somewhere. He got the flash earlier on from Zeus, but that was about it. Maybe trying to find the timing. You see Zeus's flash is like 10 seconds away, so would have been really nice if Zeus was in the lane, but he wasn't. And so Peanut's just gonna back and look elsewhere. Keria, meanwhile, just dealing with stuff in the enemy jungle. Here's Owner, actually, so the jungler who's up here and maybe makes a difference might be the T1 jungler. Doran is alone. He is going to hop past them, but the stun comes through, and that should be enough even against Cassante. And now that's Zeus picking up 2 kills.
Unfortunately for Doran there, the moment that Zeus ults him, normally getting that ultimate off from Cassante immediately can be beneficial, but if he had that as soon as Owner shows up, might have been able to somehow find an angle over a wall that kept him alive. Not going to be the case. Doesn't have that cooldown available. Really nice timing there from Owner. And Zeus now, again, getting fed on this Yone. It's just, is it the same game?
It kind of is. It's not exactly, because obviously the...
Peanut!
Trying to get in here is Peanut. He's not in range, and guess who is? Finally does get in range, but Keria comes in, picks up the kill, and Faker's going to survive. And now Peanut's in a whole host of trouble as well. Tries to flash in front of the Q, not going to quite time it correctly, and Peanut does get out with his life.
And Peanut getting out is nice, but Zeka ends up dying again. And we see a short moment of hesitation there, I think, as Peanut and Zeka go in. Peanut is like, can we do this? Because I think at that point they also realize that Pyke is on its way. But it's not going to matter as we see another Loki at the moment that Doran counters the ult with his own. Knows that he is dead. Not going to be able to get out of that one alive, unfortunately. And the lead in top grows in here. I think they realize that Pyke is there literally like the moment. And then Zeka has to play defensively because he has to respect Faker's ult, but also with the Peanut
dies to Pyke anyway.
Dies to Pyke anyway. Rel wasn't even necessary, and Peanut would have definitely died if Keria got that ult off. Yeah.
I almost landed the Q, and well, it didn't happen.
Close.
Didn't quite happen. I mean, Peanut was a Vi who had flash and potentially Q to get away at that point, so we don't blame you this time, Keria. Meanwhile, Viper trying to protect a control ward. But yeah, the mid lane situation was pretty dire before that, and now, I mean, Peanut's still behind. Zeka's still behind, also died to Keria. And Faker has the most CS in the game. And we saw him stepping behind the enemy ranged minions, blocking missiles from CSing. And that's how you know the lane is done.
The lane is very doomed.
That's like the key sign. It's like, okay, the jungler can't hurt me, the enemy mid laner can't hurt me, I'm just going to shield all of your damage so you can't even touch my minions.
Kind of love how Guma is yet again the either enemy sidekick or backup dancer, depending on who you ask, because he's like 25 CS up. He's just in this lane. Carry us going on all these fun trips without him.
Ooh, got some slows coming in from the Gravitum. Ooh, nice chains come out from Guma. And that is going to put a stop to it.
Doesn't even get to one to the death.
Not allowed.
Not allowed. No fun for Guma.
Gotta protect. And the owner's just here now. Says, okay, I'm going to get my bot lane out of this lane. Give them a nice time to back, I suppose. Although Guma and Keria are sticking around. Still a lot of stuff available. You know, you got Pike ult, you have big Wombo from Owner with Flash and ult available. Top lane also going in favor of T1 after a bunch of skirmishes there. Zeka with the package. Can he get something going? There is Keria nearby as well as Owner doing the Drake, so you got to be careful about this timing if you are Zeka as well.
There's also no follow-up, so I can't imagine he actually wants to use it offensively here. But if you don't use the package, it's also kind of a waste. Ideally, want to try and at least get some value out of it, maybe towards a Rift Herald comes to mind, because this second Drake also going to T1, and T1, everything's going according to plan, but for me the big difference between this game and last is that, again, I really like Hanwha's comp, but I do think T1 have a lot more power when it comes to mid to late, even if they don't snowball, which they are.
There's not as much pressure in the early and mid game.
No, there's no Ashe, you know, no Kalista.
Well, I'm saying there's not as much pressure to like end the game early on for because they have that scaling.
Yeah,
and they have really good team fighting this time as well. As Owner is getting very far into the enemy jungle, does have Keria nearby.
He got it.
Yes, he got it. Nice. Mid lane is still like Zeka even had to build a Hex Drinker, which we do see occasionally, but it just delays your 3-item spike even that much more. And it's going to be pretty rough. It's going to take a long time for Zeka to be pretty, in this game at all.
On the plus side, though, it's better than the last game so far. I think. It wasn't. He was not nearly as far behind. But I'm trying to find an upside here. Do gotta say though, Hanwha Life looked similar to this in last game, and then when the team fighting started, that's where we really started to see. Which is pretty funny, given that a large part of this team was, of course, Chen Ji.
Faker's just going to take the turret by himself.
Yeah, on the next wave, it is gone. That's going to be first turret bot going over to this Orianna. And I don't think there's a whole lot that they can do to stop him. Teleport comes in, but that's not enough, and Owner is there, and the turret is gone!
He almost missed his TP as well. Like, if Faker really stepped up and tried to put a couple more autos into that thing, it was possible. But I think maybe he wanted him to TP for the potential for Owner to get in there. But either way, Zeka gets away. He does stick around here. It's almost like he's watching Faker CS, and then he's like, "Oh, I guess I'll just pick up the scraps." I don't know.
I wish that.
What else I could do?
I wish that could be me.
Yeah.
Maybe that's his thought process. I wish I could have money. That would be cool.
Yeah.
And they did opt into this, and I think part of that is that, one, the Pork is obviously an insanely strong pick, but on the flip side, it also is, what was Faker, 19-game win streak, so you can't give it over, which just, again, beckons the question, why not just ban it?
Just ban it.
And maybe we'll see an answer in this game if Zeka is able to eventually take over.
Well, especially if you're leaving Orianna up. It feels like, Corki can have some better lanes, but not against Orianna.
No, against Orianna, it's...
The blind Corki with Orianna available after you just had that Game 1 performance. That was
questionable.
Yeah. There's just a lot of different factors coming together.
It's 4K gold
for this question.
Fellas. And that Hail Mary team fight, the team fighting prowess I was talking about, it's got to come soon. Kraken Slayer's done for Viper. Maybe Delight with this Milio can get something going.
Faker is pretty much invulnerable at this point. He has the arm guard. And I love that defensive item choice into the enemy comp. Especially, you know that Viper's going to be doing a lot of damage, but also, more importantly, it's like, if I can get stasis very early on, I can just be even more of a threat. He already has his one-item spike with the Ludens, and he knows he's very fed, so he just uses that extra gold to become more unkillable, essentially. A more defensive item choice, but I think it's a cool one in this scenario. Especially because he knows that, okay, well, Soul Point fights are coming up. We've got Rift Herald fight is about to happen. So some big team fights are going to happen, and if they do isolate in 100-0 Faker, that is a big problem for T1, so he just says, I'll just pick up some stasis.
And another objective going to get started up here.
Uh-oh. Peanut's in the enemy jungle for some reason, and he might just be dead. There is a Cassante nearby, but it doesn't matter, as Keria is going to take him out, but he does go down at least, and it ends up mattering, I suppose, for Doran, who will pick up the kill.
Gold positive trade is... Uh-oh, this won't be. Maybe?
Yeah, what's going on here? Just looking for a free Viper, I suppose, and it doesn't matter how many Melio ultimates and abilities you use, he's still going to die.
Yeah, so as I was saying, unfortunately that one, not a gold positive shift, because the bot one, it's 1-for-1, but you get a bounty. So that's nice. But then Viper dies in mid, and it feels a little bit less nice. We just have owner moving from lane to lane, and then whoever is in that lane that is already winning just gets a turret. Now, first we had Faker, right? Now Guma gets to do the same.
Yeah.
We gotta see some form of resurgence from Hanwha, because it's getting to like 5-6k. Peanut just queues in, not ready, and I think that the call here was probably that they are investing towards top side of the map and they're doing Herald, but they're not. Keria and Zeus are both just there, and this shit's not too bad. It's fine. Fortunately, this part is kind of rough. Viper, I think he thought that he was just on the edge. Did have his flash available. If he flashes the shockwave, probably lives, but not actually able to walk out of it. Does end up going down, and yeah, it's
a bit dire for Life Esports. I think that they'll be happy that it's not Infernal Soul this time, but
yeah,
it might not matter because the lead is much wider this game as well. And it does feel a bit more suffocating. Your Corki seemingly even more far behind.
Started so early as well, right? Muse is just going in 1v2.
So they're gonna try to do the dragon.
Peanut, you are
this
not
is a single ocean dragon.
Hey, maybe this is the Hail Mary.
Yeah, I mean, they have the package.
Look at Viper's guns.
They have the package.
Well.
Okay. They say, okay, this is where we're going to try to have to get a fight going. Maybe we can pick someone off. Keria does take some damage. And now, I mean, as T1, you don't have to fight this, but if they do look for an angle, they could go for it. Owner just looking for the combo. There it is. That's the kill. And there's the stasis. And Faker lives, and down goes Peanut. And now Viper's in the front line. He's taking so much damage. And down he will go as well. Zeus super low, but just flashes away. This is a total wipe in favor of T1 as they take down 3 members of Humble Life Esports and the Drake. And this was happening the whole time.
Yeah, I think Baron's gone as well. Somehow, even though the kill scores look better, this game is much more doomed, Veldes. Didn't even need Pike Gold in that one. It's just...
There's not too much to say. I mean...
No.
Yeah, we kind of saw the writing on the wall like 10 minutes ago as well. As now Keria, he's just bullying at this point, trying to get to Light, who was getting into the pit for some reason. Keria is going to just hop
They got
away.
Nash on spawn!
Yeah. Let's take another look at this fight. Break it down for us, Chronicler.
So the idea here, obviously, is we're going to go in hard on Faker because he's a big threat, but they didn't do the arm guard check. So watch this. And then Peanut just dies to Guma immediately. Meanwhile, on the backline, Zeus and Keria are creating a lot of issues, and Zeka doesn't actually get that much value out of his package. We see an attempt from Viper to do something, but he gets caught by the ultimate and just ends up going down. And
uh-oh. Faker's just gigantic right now. And Viper just has to walk away. He does have Ghost, and okay, well, that's interesting for Faker. Trying to put down a control word in that push, I guess. Not sure. Just been a misclick. Either way. He doesn't even have a control ward.
So,
Yeah, Faker just got he got a free lane. And the one time Peanut tried to go there, they actually lost in the trade, and Faker got even farther ahead.
yeah. I think we can let go of any notions of this game somehow turning around, Veldas.
Game 1 was so good. It was so close. It was a lot of fun, crazy
Game 1,
Yone moments, and now this game happened.
Game 1, like, I actually think that obviously Delight and Viper with the highlights, but Doran and Peanut still had good games.
Yeah.
But this one is a classic, like, every lane is kind of losing in some sort of way.
Even the jungle.
All right. Hail Mary, Pete. No, we got no one. They are losing the topside turret.
Yeah. I mean,
It's got nothing to say. It's 22 minutes in there.
I think this zoom out is perfect.
It's 11k gold.
I think Jonas Strong was like, you know what? There's nothing I can focus on right now. Nobody's going to make a play. Hey, they're going to go in on a Faker. They saw him use his stasis, and they got him. And that's a kill. And now we got the flank coming in from Doran. This is going to be pretty nice. A couple of kills. His owner just sends it. Might as well, I guess. He's not going to take out Peanut, though. And that's going to be a couple of kills here in the hands of HLE Esports.
Down to 9k. That's...
You got to start somewhere.
I think Viper got a shutdown as well.
Yeah, he did. On the Faker.
Playable, Veldas. This
Just
is,
surround the Aphelios.
Yeah, this is very straightforward. Faker just uses Zhonya's, and then Peanut's like, you don't...
Yeah, and it was on vision, too.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why he's that far up.
And then a nice TP from Doran as well to ensure that they actually can take down more targets. Ideally would have liked to get someone else, but Guma was already positioned well. Carrier spikes, so it was really slippery, hard to actually take down. Zeus wasn't near the play. Zeus is something we haven't really talked about at all yet this game, outside of the ganks he received, but he is up 50 CS, and he is sitting on like a 300-something gold bounty and is not manageable in side lanes. But one problem at a time, Veldas. They killed Faker. They got a big shutdown.
Yeah.
Viper now has 2 items. That's how it starts.
If it was going to become something, it had to start in this manner, essentially. They keep their inhibitor alive. They don't lose their inhibitor turret. They get a shutdown. It's a lot of gold.
Who cares about Ocean Soul?
Who cares about Ocean Soul? You've got 2 items now on Viper. Gotta start somewhere.
Why did you put Humble Life in your predictions?
4th. Yeah, I had them behind KT, which, again, this is overreaction week 1 predictions that we're talking about.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I don't know if I feel much better about putting them 3rd.
Yeah. I mean... I think Game 1 showed off that they are a strong team.
We're in week 2, right? We're gonna.
It's impossible to know.
We're gonna overreact to anything. This team might look completely different if you give them another month. I'm not gonna draw any grandstanding conclusions. But if it's just another split of T1 Genji for the 4th year in a row, actually 3rd year, I guess.
Probably will be, yeah.
Probably will be as carry-out behind enemy lines.
Yeah, looking for the backline, but there's a TP coming in. Zeka has the package here. So they really have to respect that to T1.
Come on, Hanwha.
In fact, they might just back off of this one. But let's see.
Get us the free.
Trying to get in. The hook is on a Zeka, but the package is pretty good. Owner isolated, but he's just so tanky. He gets into the front line with the package help. And Carrier gets super low, but I don't think they care about that at all. As the damage from Viper is non-existent. He's totally zoned away. And that will be another T1 victory in this team fight. Oh, poor Viper. Yeah, you're dead. Guma gonna take that one. Yeah. And that might just be it. They're just gonna push the bottom lane. 4 people are down here for HLE Esports. Not very long on the death timers, though.
I don't know if you saw, Viper was laughing like very loudly. Like, what do you do after a game like this?
Yeah.
He just got clapped. There's not that much more to say.
The bot lane lost, the jungle lost, the mid lane lost, and the top lane lost.
Unlike last game, where there was a very easy person to play, in this one, it's just the team that felt us.
Yeah. It just ends up being that way. Doran is trying to buy some time here. He's doing a good job. I think they will get Doran, but they're not going to get the space. As Peanut's thinking about it, no stasis available, but the heal, nope, not quite enough as Zeus. Now he wants to go 1v5. He's having a bunch of fun. As maybe the damage here from Viper could be enough. Did they go too far? Because Peanut's in this back line, not able to lock down Guma. As the damage comes in, and Carrion nearly able to double it up, but not quite. As that will be another kill, just fed over to Viper.
Signs of life! Let's go! So they, I don't know why we get a replay of this one. This is rough. So starts off, and this is something that we saw Lucid do as well. The turn possibility for something like Arel is just absolutely devastating. Guma's just free hitting, as is Faker from the other end, and this fight is very over very quickly. But hear me out. That's Ocean Drake now going over to Humba. Okay, that's Bounty Gold.
They don't have vision.
Wait, is it Bounty Gold? That's Bounty Gold, fellas.
It is, yeah.
No, Guma, no. No! Come on!
Well, that was pretty elementary from Owner. Just over the wall, just doesn't even cast anything, just smites it. As now, Zeus, okay, that shockwave was massive, and now Zeus finds the angle, picks up 2, and he's looking for a third. Doran will be gifted over to Guma, as now Carrier just following Delight around the map.
Look at the base! The minions got knitted him!
Guys, look at these guys.
He's having fun.
Oh, man. Oh, Carrier had to do him dirty. I thought he would, take him for a little walk. Delight's got a big smile on his face. This game is over, guys. As they are looking for Peanut. But, yeah, it's just going to be the 2-0 here for T1 tonight in a very extremely dominant game number 2. They just wiped them off the face of the Rift. And that is the 2-0 for T1.
Game number 1 was like a great ride in a roller coaster, even though KT wasn't involved. It was flashy. There were moments where you thought that Humble Life, even though they were somewhat on the back foot, could pull it back. Viper had some incredible plays. They watched him steal Elder and then almost turn the fight. And in this one, T1 just... they just massacred them, Feldas.
Yeah, that wasn't fair.
We ran out of things to talk about very quickly. This won every lane, and then the game was done.
Yeah. I mean, remember the level 1, too? Where Zeus is just running at the 2 of them in the enemy jungle, 1v2 with lethal tempo, 1v2ing them. And then Owner takes Raptors, and then he joins. And it's like, okay, well, Peanut is not going to have a big effect on this early game. And he didn't. They got the gank on the top side, so Zeus was always going to win there. Faker won mid lane by himself. Owner eventually went bot. And the lane was already winning anyway, so...
Guma knew! He knew he was the backup dancer! He did a little dance! Look at him go!
Yeah.
Carrier got to play a champion that, really, if you go back to what, like 2019, 2020, DRX was one of his most iconic, I would say.
It was one of those games that we watched and play Pike where people began to believe in Carrier,
you began to believe.
Yeah, it was like, man, this guy's the real deal. He could be like one of the best supports in the league. And, well, now he's here. And he's one of the best supports in the league. And he just defeated Delight pretty handily as well. Another guy we talk about all the time. Delight even got to play Rakan. I'm not blaming Delight by any means, but